Hello again, class 6. Today we are going to learn lesson 10 from your textbook, page 16, 1-6. John and his friend Henry. John and his friend Henry. I want you to look into your book while I'm reading and underline the words which you do not understand. Let's start reading. Have you ever heard of a big famous luxury ship called the Titanic, which sank into the cold Atlantic Ocean in April 1912? Have you ever heard of the Titanic, a luxury ship, a giant ship called the Titanic? It sank into the Atlantic Ocean in April 1912. Okay, if you want to know more about the Titanic, you can Google it or you can watch the movie Titanic. All right, it sank into the Atlantic Ocean. All right. The Titanic was a very large luxurious ship equipped with many luxurious things. Titanic long chu long lian pui me ania mi ho sa te chuan an mo nom sipon na long ania and it was equipped nge ni thil man to le cha le hlu chitin reng in an thuam ani chu eo equipped chu thuam tina. It was so well built and strong that they claimed even God would not be able to sink it. Atsak lutuka achung kha an sacha boxi achuwang chuanin pathian po khanin atipil theilawa an ngai ni o. They were so proud of its safety and they did not care to provide it with lifeboats in case of eventual accident on high seas. An chuang mea chuwang chuanin enge a himna a safety lam po kha an lo ngai tua lawa lifeboats po kha I tam tak kha an da lawa ni o. In case of accidents, they used to put lifeboats on the side of the ship. All right. As such, it had only very few lifeboats. Lifeboats po khatlem te so kha anei ni chu he asira khanin lifeboats ka enge mozat kha long alo pil thut po a harsana le chat an to po a an mantur kha an da chin ani o. Third paragraph. But the Titanic struck a big iceberg on its way to America in April 1912, and in spite of all the boasts about its safety and security, it sank into the cold water with more than 1,000 people in it. Chuan Titanic chuanin vur tlang kha asutabur mai ni chu America kaltum khanin April sang kha chakwa som pania khanin chuanin an soi the boast chu hei an soi angmo an ngai sang lu tuka an chuang boxi atiro a chat te a chunga thil lu le thil cha atam te kha an soi the ang hu khanin mo safety le security kha an lo ngai poi mo chilawa chu wang chuanin it sank into the cold water with more than 1,000 people in it. When the accident was reported to the captain of the ship, the captain at once understood that the ship was going to sink sooner than everybody thought. Yeah. Captain kha an han shil ta ni long accident thu kha chuta captain an han shil cha chu mi zong zong ai khanin mo apil ma don ani ti kha asya ani because he was the captain. All right, asha chiang ber ani long chan chin kha o. So he ordered that all women and children should be lowered into the lifeboats. Chuanin mei chia le no pang te kha lifeboats a khai lama satur khanin order kha pe ani. After all had been lowered to the meichale no pangte and klak zo khanin, there was a seat left and the seat was for John according to the lot cast. Meichale no pangte an zo to chuanin seat la om kha John seat tur kha mo a indod dana an seat tur kha alo lo mani chu. But John had no family. John had no family. His relatives had all died sometime before. Achung te kha chu emi khami longa achu an ma khan an lo thi dei to ani. So he thought it would be good to give his seat to Henry, his friend next in order, who had his wife, children, and aged parents to look after. John ka chuan chung te nei lo wang khanin a seat all kha Henry a chian pa mo. Nena kan pe ka do achan chu a chan pa khanin nupui aneya fat aneya nule patar do tak en kultur kha ane box si ani chu. So he offered his seat to Henry. At first Henry refused to take the seat. chuan Henry khan atira kha chuan an du lo ve de phut ani, but there was no time for arguments. Ma se han in hel ka du lo nang man chuang sok ru han ti hun kha om to si lawa. Henry had to take the seat, which he gladly did, being grateful to his friend John for his precious offer. Chuan Henry chu lom ta khanin asida chuanin achuang ta amo John a chan pa khanin offer kha adita ani. Then the boat was lowered, boat chu and kai nyam ta into the water, and soon the big ship went down to the bottom of the deep sea. Chutia long an thak nyam ve le chuanin long lian pui me kha tui pui thuk tak me khana pil ta vong me ni chu. How precious the offer was for Henry, whose life was saved from death. Chuan alom omang turo Henry and John khan Henry atan khan anun ahlan ani chu he lived to take care and look after his parents and family. Anule pale achung te en kultur khan adam ko chwa phat heta ani chu. So here we can understand from this story that sacrifice is a precious service to others. Sacrifice kan ti chuan in hlan na in hlan na hi midang te ta na kan thil ti the hlut tak ani. Sacrifice implies loss and deprivation of something precious to one for others' welfare or good. Sacrifice kan ti chuanin ke mani hlau te chan na te ke mi ta na thil kan sacrifice reng chuan kan thil nei hlut emo kan thil nei chat emo kan tha le zung te kha kan hlau a kan seng thin ani tiro kha khambidang te tan kha alo chabok si achu chu that is called sacrifice. Okay, if you really want to do service to others midang te ta da thil chati indu chuan you cannot do it without sacrifice. Thil engemaw hlan nei lawin ati theilawani without loss on your part engemaw kan hlau thin ani tiro. If you want to give money to help others, you lost your money, right? If you want to help a poor and needy, you lost your effort or you lost something from you, right? So without loss on your part, you cannot sacrifice for others. Okay, but if you sacrifice for others, you will be happy and blessed. On the other hand, chu may alanilawa lela matsuan mo. If we are selfish and think only of ourselves and our welfare, kan ma kan sel tu ke mani cho kanin ngai tu kan chat na tur cho kan ngai tu chuan, then others have no room in our heart and we are occupied only with our own interests. Midang den kan thinlunga munan changlawa tro ke mani du dan cho kha alal chinani. Suppose we are all living for ourselves only and have no consideration for others. What do you think the world would be? Would the world be like? Do you think life would still be possible? So it ends with a question. What do you think the world would be like if we are all living for ourselves and have no consideration for others? Midang te ngai tua lek lawa ke ma ni chau kanin ngai tua khan ko vel heng tin ngi a omang. Do you think life would still be possible? Atiani ask this yourself. Okay, that will be all about the lesson. I will post the exercises and you will have to copy that in your notebook.